This video comes from the Disney Princess Cookbook. It's a dinner recipe inspired by Merida, and it's called Unbearably Delicious Fish Cakes. So here's a picture from here. So it looks like crab cakes, but they're called fish cakes. In this recipe, you actually use cod. So you're actually supposed to take some cooked cod fillets and flake them, and then you mix them together with some eggs, mayonnaise, breadcrumbs and all that, and then you saute it in the pan. And here's some clips of me putting this together. The first step here, I have an egg and I'm just put it into this bowl and I'm whisking it together. And I don't know if you noticed, but back there I have my other little bowl of my cod that I already made and flaked into bite-sized pieces. And now I'm adding it to the egg. And I'm preparing to add a few other ingredients after I mix it all together here. The next ingredient to get added to the mix is breadcrumbs. It says to use Italian style, and I went with panko because that's what I had, and I just thought I'd use them out. Hopefully it'll be all right. Also give this a good mix. The next ingredient to get added is some mayonnaise. Now I'm just adding lime juice. And I just used pre-bought lime juice that you buy in the bottle. I didn't buy a fresh lime. I know you can use either or. This is just what I had handy. The last thing that goes into this dish is some spices, and I have some celery salt as well as some paprika there, and I'm going to add a little bit of pepper to it. One final mix of all the ingredients, then I'm going to cover this bowl with some plastic wrap and stick it in the fridge and let it chill for at least 15 minutes. The fish cakes have been chilling in the fridge for probably actually about 25 minutes. And what I did is I heated some vegetable oil on a frying pan on the stove. And now I am using the spoon to kind of drop spoonfuls of the mixture in there and trying to keep them somewhat round in like a cake shape and also not try to burn myself at the same time. Each fish cake needs to be sauteed for about 3 to 4 minutes on each side until they're cooked and browned. And as you can see here, I'm starting to kind of move them around and want to rotate them, but I'm noticing that they're kind of starting to fall apart a little bit. And I'm going to add in a new one just to kind of speed the process up. And you can see it's a hard time getting it to stick together. I'm flipping another one over that looks a little more sturdy, but you can see some flakes of cod have fallen out as I'm frying these cakes, and I'm about to do one more, and yeah, it's not staying together very well at all. They didn't stay together, so they end up just being this one kind of pile of fish. Okay, so it's review time on these fish cakes. It seems like it should be something that I could easily make and put together. Like, it seems that way, right? Like, it's just mixing things together and fried it. And of course, I just found a way to mess it up. I don't know what it was that day. I think it was a combination of things I should have known better on. Like, one, I think I used the wrong breadcrumbs. I think it said about Italian style, which I think are thinner, and I used panko because I didn't want the extra seasoning, and I should have probably known better. And I probably didn't leave it in the fridge enough. It just seemed too wet to like really kind of bind together well in the pan. But I mean, it tasted okay, even though it was fried together and it was a little bit, not a cake thing. It was more of like a stir fry, like a fish stir fry. It still tasted just fine. So that being said, let's get into the rankings. The first are the ingredients on a scale of 1 to 5. I'm giving these a 2. Nothing is really hard to find, and I only rank them higher than a 1 because you do have to buy the fish. And sometimes I think about like the cost of like buying that to making it when you can just buy this stuff kind of prepackaged is, that's what it's relatively. So that's why I just a little higher. Difficulty level on a scale of 1 to 5, with 1 being easy and 5 being hard. Since clearly I struggled with the frying part, I'm giving it a 3 in the middle because I obviously didn't do that part very well. And then would I make it again on a scale of 1 to 5? 1 is never and 5 is absolutely. Probably a 2 for me. And again, it's the whole, I've said times before, I don't yuck someone else's yum. I'm just not a huge fish cake person, you know, like I like crab cakes, but fish, like with breading, I'd rather just do like fish and chips at a restaurant. But if I'm making fish at home for just like me, I prefer just more of a cooked or a baked fish. You know, I'm not going to go through a lot of the extra work for that. So that's probably why I wouldn't attempt it. But I'm sure that some of you have succeeded out there in making this before, and I'd love to hear your comments on that.